Cozy English Podcast. Relax, listen, and learn.
So, Michael, I just watched this incredible film from South Korea last night, and it got me thinking, why do we sometimes love movies that make us cry? Like we actually choose to feel sad.
Oh, wow, that's such a fascinating question. You know what? Hey, everyone, welcome to Cozy English Sunday Podcast.
Where we relax, listen, and learn together on these lovely Sunday afternoons.
And today we're diving into something we all do, talking about movies we love, but from all around the world. Grab your coffee or tea or whatever makes your Sunday perfect.
You know what I love about Sundays? You have time to really think about interesting things. Like why a film from halfway across the world can make you feel like the director understands your soul.
Exactly. That's why we created Cozy English Sunday Podcast, because Sunday conversations are the best conversations. No rush, just good stories and new perspectives about the movies that move us.
And today, we're exploring how different cultures talk about films, share movie recommendations, and, well, why we sometimes disagree about what makes a movie great.
Plus, we've got some lovely expressions from around the world, from how Australians describe a brilliant flick to how Nigerians might say a movie scatter their brain.
By the end of our chat, you'll feel like you've had coffee with friends who've just shared their favorite films with you. And maybe you'll discover your next movie night pick too.
So, Emma, what's the first movie that comes to mind when I say favorite movie?
Oh man, that's such a hard question. But you know what? The first one that popped into my head was The Princess Bride.
Classic choice. I love that one too. What is it about that movie that you like so much?
Well, it has everything, doesn't it? Romance, adventure, humor, and those quotes. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya.
You killed my father, prepare to die. See, that's the thing about great movies. They stick with you. You remember the lines years later.
Absolutely. And it's funny how certain movies become part of our daily language. I catch myself saying, as you wish all the time, and people immediately know where it's from.
That's such a good point. Movies give us this shared cultural language. When someone says, I'll be back in a serious voice, everyone thinks of Terminator, right?
Exactly. And that's actually fantastic for English learners too. When you know these famous movie quotes, you're connecting with English-speaking culture in a really natural way.
That's so true. Speaking of memorable, what about you asking me now? What's a movie I could watch over and over?
Wait, did you just ask yourself a question?
Oh no, I meant, what about you asking me? Thanks for catching that. My brain's still on Sunday mode.
That's what I'm here for. So, Michael, what's a movie you never get tired of?
For me, it's got to be Back to the Future. I've probably seen it 50 times and it never gets old.
Ooh, good choice. What draws you to that one?
I think it's the perfect mix of comedy and science fiction. Plus, it makes you think about time and family and... Oh, and the friendship between Doc and Marty is just beautiful. There's something so pure about their relationship. This eccentric old scientist and this teenager who become best friends.
I love how you describe that. What draws you to it? That's such a natural way to ask someone about their preferences. Our listeners can use that phrase for anything. What draws you to that book? Or what draws you to that place? Or even what draws you to that type of music?
Great point. And notice how I didn't just say, I like it. I gave specific reasons. The comedy, the science fiction, the friendship, the family themes. When you're talking about movies in English, giving detailed reasons makes the conversation so much richer and more engaging.
Absolutely. It shows you're really thinking about what you're watching, not just passively consuming entertainment.
Let's practice this a bit more. Emma, tell me about a movie that made you cry.
Oh, that's easy. Inside Out.
Really? The Pixar one?
Yes, don't laugh. But when Bing Bong disappears, Take her to the moon for me. I was a complete mess. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it now.
Oh, that's so sweet. And you know what? There's no shame in crying at movies. It shows they moved you emotionally. Movies are designed to make us feel things deeply.
Exactly. And I think that's why animated movies can be so powerful. They look simple on the surface, but they deal with such complex emotions and relationships.
That's such a good observation. What about you? Any movie that made you emotional?
Oh my goodness, Coco. The whole thing about family and memory, and when Miguel sings to his great grandmother. I can't even think about it without getting teary eyed. And the way it handles the topic of death and remembrance. It's so beautiful and respectful.
That's such a beautiful movie. And you just used a great phrase there, teary eyed. That's a lovely way to say you're about to cry or you have tears in your eyes. Much more descriptive than just saying sad.
Good catch. You know, this is making me realize how many different emotions movies can create. We've talked about favorites, ones that make us laugh, ones that make us cry. What about movies that genuinely scared you?
Oh no, I'm terrible with scary movies. I watched Jurassic Park when I was way too young, and I had nightmares about dinosaurs for weeks.
That's not even a horror movie. That's adventure.
Those dinosaurs were terrifying. The T-Rex scene in the rain, the velociraptors in the kitchen. I was hiding behind cushions the entire time.
Okay, I have to admit those velociraptors were pretty scary. What about you, Mr. Brave?
All right, all right. The Ring, the one with the girl who comes out of the TV?
Oh, that one. I couldn't look at TVs properly for months after watching that. I kept expecting something to crawl out of the screen.
Right? And this brings up something interesting for our listeners. When you talk about scary movies, you can use phrases like, it terrified me, or it gave me nightmares, or I couldn't sleep for days, or I was hiding behind cushions.
Those are fantastic phrases. Much more descriptive and engaging than just saying it was scary. It helps people understand exactly how the movie affected you.
And it makes for better conversation, too. Now, what about the complete opposite? Movies that inspire you or motivate you?
That's a great question. You know what always motivates me? Julie and Julia. It's about a woman who decides to cook every recipe in Julia Child's cookbook and blog about it.
I love that one. Meryl Streep is absolutely incredible in it.
She really is. But what I love about it is how it shows that you can start something new at any stage in your life. Julia Child didn't start cooking until her 30s, and Julie Powell started her blog project when she was feeling stuck and unfulfilled in her job.
That's such a positive and encouraging message. And you use some really great language there. At any stage in your life and feeling stuck and unfulfilled. Those are really useful phrases for talking about personal growth and life challenges.
Thank you. It's such a relatable story, too. I think many people can identify them with feeling stuck in their routine and wanting to try something completely different.
Absolutely. What about you? Any movies that motivate you?
I'd have to say The Pursuit of Happiness. That's happiness, spelled Happynes, by the way.
Oh, with Will Smith. That's an emotionally intense one.
It really is. But seeing someone never give up, even when absolutely everything goes wrong, it reminds me that perseverance and determination are so important in life. The way he keeps trying to create a better life for his son, despite facing homelessness and incredible challenges.
That's beautiful. And perseverance? What a wonderful word. It means continuing to try even when things are extremely difficult or seem hopeless.
Exactly. Movies can teach us so much about resilience and the human spirit, can't they?
They really can. And speaking of learning, I think movies are absolutely fantastic tools for English learners too.
Oh, absolutely. Want to share some tips about that with our listeners?
Sure, first, don't worry about understanding every single word. Focus on the overall story, the emotions, and the relationships between characters.
That's such important advice. And I'd add, start with movies you already know in your own language. If you're familiar with the plot, you can focus more on listening to the English and picking up new vocabulary.
Yes. And use subtitles wisely. Maybe start with subtitles in your native language, then switch to English subtitles, then eventually try watching without any subtitles at all.
And here's a fun tip. Watch the same movie multiple times. You'll catch different words, phrases, and nuances each time. The first viewing is for the story, the second for the language, the third for the details.
I love that approach. It's like peeling layers of an onion. You discover something new and interesting each time you watch.
Great metaphor. And don't be afraid to pause and rewind if you miss something important. That's one advantage of watching at home.
Now, let's talk about different types of movies. Emma, what's your favorite genre and why?
I'm a complete sucker for romantic comedies. I know they're often predictable, but sometimes you want that happy, feel-good ending. You know? After a stressful week, sometimes I just want to watch something light and heartwarming that I know will make me smile.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Predictable doesn't always mean bad. Sometimes we watch movies because we want to feel good and relaxed, not because we want shocking surprises or complex plot twists.
Exactly. It's like comfort food for the soul. What about you? What genre do you naturally gravitate toward?
I'm really drawn to science fiction. I love movies that make you think deeply about the future, technology, or explore big philosophical questions about humanity and our place in the universe.
Like what? Give me a specific example.
Well, Blade Runner is absolutely fascinating because it asks fundamental questions about what it truly means to be human. Or Arrival. It's about communication, language, and how the way we think about time shapes our entire experience of life.
Ooh, Arrival is so good. And it's perfect for language learners because it's literally about the process of learning and understanding a completely new language.
That's true. I never thought about it that way before. The main character has to figure out how aliens communicate. It's similar to learning English. You have to be patient with yourself. You make mistakes along the way, but gradually you start to understand more and more.
Exactly. And just like in the movie, there are breakthrough moments when everything suddenly starts to make sense. Language learning has those magical moments too.
That's such a beautiful and encouraging parallel. You know, Emma, this conversation is making me want to go home and rewatch some of these movies we've been discussing.
Me too. And I bet our listeners are thinking about their own favorite movies right now, maybe even planning their next movie night.
I hope so. You know what would be really fun and useful? Let's talk about how to recommend movies to friends and family.
Great idea. Because that's such a common conversation in daily life, isn't it? Someone asks, "Hey, have you seen anything good lately?" Or, "What should I watch tonight?"
Exactly. So, what's a good strategy for recommending movies effectively?
Well, first, think carefully about what the person usually enjoys. If they love action movies and adrenaline, don't recommend a slow, contemplative, romantic drama, no matter how much you personally loved it.
That's excellent advice. Know your audience and be specific about what made the movie special or memorable. Don't just say it was really good. Explain what was good about it.
Right, like instead of saying the acting was good, you could say the main actor really made you believe in the character, or the performances felt so natural and convincing, or the chemistry between the leads was amazing.
Those descriptions are so much more helpful and informative, and obviously don't spoil the ending or reveal major plot twists.
Obviously, though some people do that accidentally when they get really excited about a movie they loved.
Guilty as charged. I've definitely done that before. What about when someone recommends a movie to you? How should you respond politely?
Well, if I'm genuinely interested, I might say something like, "That sounds really interesting and right up my alley." Or, "I'll definitely check it out this weekend." Or, Where can I watch it? Is it on Netflix?
And if you're not really interested, you can still be polite and appreciative. That's not really my type of movie, but thanks for thinking of me. Or I'm not usually into horror films, but I really appreciate the recommendation.
Those responses are perfect, polite but honest. You don't have to pretend to be interested in something that doesn't appeal to you, but you can still show gratitude for the thought.
Absolutely. Honesty with kindness is always the best policy. Now, let's talk about something practical, going to the movies versus watching at home. Emma, do you prefer the cinema experience or your comfortable couch?
That's such a good question. I honestly love both, but for completely different reasons. The cinema is absolutely fantastic for big, spectacular movies. You know, the ones with incredible visuals, amazing sound design, or epic action sequences.
Like Marvel superhero movies or big budget action films?
Exactly. The massive screen and surround sound makes such a huge difference. You feel like you're part of the action. But for quieter movies, romantic comedies, intimate dramas, or character studies, I actually prefer the comfort of home.
Why's that?
Well, you can pause if you need to use the bathroom. You can rewind if you missed an important piece of dialogue. And you don't have to worry about other people talking, texting, or eating loudly during quiet moments.
The loud popcorn crunching during emotional scenes can be pretty distracting. I'm similar to you, but I also really love the social aspect of going to the cinema. It's a shared cultural experience.
That's so true. There's something really special about laughing with a room full of strangers, or everyone gasping in surprise at the same shocking moment. It creates this temporary community of people sharing emotions together.
Exactly. Plus, you can't easily check your phone at the cinema. Well, you shouldn't anyway. So you're really focused and immersed in the movie experience.
Good point. At home, it's so tempting and easy to get distracted by text notifications or social media. Oh, let me just quickly check this message.
And then suddenly you've missed a crucial plot point or important character development.
Story of my life. You know, Michael, we've covered so much ground in this conversation today. We've talked about favorite movies, different genres, the various emotions that movies create.
And how to recommend movies thoughtfully, where to watch them for the best experience. I feel like our listeners have lots of practical tools now for talking about movies confidently in English.
I really hope so. But before we move on to our vocabulary section, let's do a quick recap of some useful phrases and expressions we've used throughout today's conversation.
Great idea. Emma, what are some good alternatives to just saying I like when expressing preferences?
Well, instead of the basic I like, you can say I'm drawn to, I'm a sucker for, I gravitate toward, I'm really into, or I'm passionate about.
Perfect examples. And for describing how a movie affected you emotionally,
You could say it made me cry, it moved me deeply, it terrified me, it inspired me, it left me feeling hopeful, or it really resonated with me.
excellent. And for recommending movies to others,
Try, you might enjoy this if you like, or it's perfect if you're in the mood for, or I think you'd really connect with the main character, or this movie is right up your alley.
and don't forget about describing specific elements. The acting, the storyline, the cinematography, the soundtrack, the special effects.
All fantastic elements to mention when you're explaining why you loved or didn't enjoy a particular film. You know what, Michael? This has been such an enjoyable and natural conversation. I feel like we could easily talk about movies for several more hours.
We absolutely could. And that's one of the beautiful things about having genuine interests and passions. There's always more to explore and discuss.
Absolutely. And for our listeners, movies can be such a wonderful conversation starter in social situations. Almost everyone has seen at least a few movies. So it's common ground that brings people together.
Plus, talking about movies naturally helps you practice so many important language skills. expressing personal opinions, giving detailed reasons and explanations, sharing emotional experiences, and making recommendations.
So true. And it's enjoyable, relaxed practice, which is absolutely the best kind of language learning.
Definitely. Should we move on to our vocabulary corner now?
Let's do it. But first, let me just say, if any of our listeners want to practice talking about movies, try describing your all-time favorite movie to yourself in English. Just a few sentences about what it is, what genre it belongs to, and why you love it so much.
That's excellent homework. Low pressure and actually fun to do. Okay, vocabulary corner time.
Welcome to our vocabulary corner. This is where we highlight some really useful words and phrases from our conversation today.
Today we had such a rich discussion about movies. So let's focus on some excellent expressions for discussing films and personal preferences.
First up, I'm drawn to. This is a beautiful and sophisticated way to say you're attracted to or interested in something. For example, I'm drawn to romantic comedies, or I'm drawn to movies with strong female characters.
Love that expression. Next, we have genre. This means the type or category of movie: comedy, drama, horror, science fiction, action, romance, thriller. What's your favorite genre? Is a perfect question to ask someone about their movie preferences.
Number 3, predictable. This means you can easily guess what will happen in the story before it happens. It's not always negative. Sometimes we want predictable, comforting, feel-good movies.
Exactly. Next, we have perseverance. This means continuing to try and work hard even when things are extremely difficult or challenging. The movie showed the importance of perseverance in achieving your dreams.
Such a powerful word. Number 5 is teary-eyed. This means having tears in your eyes or being very close to crying. The emotional ending left me completely teary-eyed.
Much more descriptive and natural than just saying sad. Our sixth phrase is gravitates toward. This means to naturally move toward or have a preference for something. I gravitate toward action movies on rainy weekends.
And finally, common ground. This means something that people share, agree on, or can connect over. Movies give us common ground for interesting conversations with strangers.
These expressions are all fantastic for expanding your movie vocabulary and making your English sound more natural, varied, and sophisticated.
Practice using 1 or 2 of these this week when you talk about movies, books, music, or even other hobbies and interests.
Time for our Sunday tips. This week, we're focusing specifically on using movies to improve your English skills.
Our first tip: choose movies you genuinely enjoy and find engaging. If you're bored by the movie, you won't focus on the language learning opportunity. Pick something that truly interests you.
Tip number 2. Don't put pressure on yourself to understand every single word the first time you watch. Movies are entertainment first. Enjoy the story and characters, and gradually the language comprehension will improve naturally.
Third tip: pay close attention to emotions and reactions. Movies are fantastic for learning how English speakers express feelings: surprise, anger, joy, sadness, fear, and excitement in natural situations.
Number 4. Watch the same movie multiple times over weeks or months. Each viewing, you'll catch new words, phrases, cultural references, and subtle nuances you missed before.
Fifth, use movies as conversation practice material. After watching, try to explain the plot to someone. Describe why you liked or didn't like it, or compare it to other similar movies.
And our final tip: don't just passively watch. Actively engage. Pause to think about new vocabulary. Try mimicking pronunciation and intonation, or even practice some dialogue out loud.
The key is to make it fun, relaxed, and completely pressure-free. Movies should feel like an enjoyable treat, not like homework or a stressful test.
Exactly. Let English learning happen naturally and organically through something you already love doing in your free time.
Well, my wonderful friends, we've had such a delightful and engaging time talking about movies today.
We really have. And you know what I want you to remember? Every single conversation you have in English, even talking to yourself about your favorite movie while walking the dog, is meaningful progress.
That's so true, Michael. Language learning isn't just about thick grammar books and long vocabulary lists. It's about connecting with stories that move you, sharing personal experiences, and expressing your genuine thoughts and feelings.
And movies give us such a beautiful, accessible way to do exactly that. They help us laugh together, cry together, get scared together, feel inspired together, and dream about possibilities together.
Remember, there's absolutely no perfect way to talk about movies in English. The most important thing is to share what you genuinely think and feel. Your personal opinions, reactions, and experiences are what make conversations truly interesting and memorable.
Whether you love superhero movies or romantic comedies, foreign films or documentaries, horror or comedy, musicals or westerns, your preferences are completely valid and absolutely worth sharing with others.
And if you make grammar mistakes while talking about movies, so what? The person you're talking to will probably be much more interested in hearing your thoughts about the film than judging your sentence structure.
Absolutely. Real conversations are about human connection and sharing experiences, not about perfect grammar or flawless pronunciation.
As we wrap up today's cozy episode, here's your gentle, no pressure challenge for this week. Have one conversation about movies in English. It could be with a friend, a family member, a language exchange partner, or even with yourself in the mirror.
Tell someone about a movie you watched recently, ask someone about their all-time favorite film, or simply describe why you love or absolutely hate a particular genre.
And remember, we're here with you every single Sunday, creating this warm, comfortable space where you can relax, listen, and learn at your own natural pace.
If you enjoyed today's episode and found it helpful, please subscribe to Cozy English Sundays. It really helps other English learners find our little corner of the internet where language learning feels warm, welcoming, and stress-free.
You can also share this episode with anyone who might enjoy chatting about movies in English. Learning is always more fun and motivating when you have company on the journey.
Next Sunday, we'll be back with another cozy, relaxed conversation. Until then, keep watching those movies, keep practicing your English in whatever way feels good to you, and most importantly, keep being patient and kind to yourself on this learning adventure.
We believe in you completely, and we're so grateful you chose to spend your Sunday afternoon with us.
Take care, everyone, and enjoy your week.
And remember our tagline, relax, listen, and learn. See you next Sunday for another cozy chat.